All right, welcome to How to Pass the Algebra 1 Common Core Regents over at algebravideotutor.com. My name is Guy Houtman, and I'll be introducing myself a little bit more formally in just a few minutes. But just to make sure you're in the right place, if you are worried that you might fail the Algebra 1 Common Core Regents, then you're in the right place. Number two, you don't understand what the question is asking you on the exam. And number three, you have trouble answering the short answer questions on the Algebra 1 Common Core Regents. So just checking to make sure that we're all in the right place here. All right, now if you stay until the end, you will learn how to answer the easiest and most commonly asked concepts on the Algebra 1 Common Core Regents. All right. And you'll also learn how to handle multiple choice and short answer questions. And number three, you'll learn how to get a guaranteed 65 plus on the Algebra 1 Common Core Regents. All right. Once again, my name is Guy Howman, and that is not what I look like. All right. That's a little bit more like it. I have over 14 years of experience as a New York State licensed teacher. I've taught in both public and private schools in New York. As a high school student myself, I went to Staten Island Tech. I graduated from SUNY Binghamton, and I currently work at a New York City public high school on Staten Island called Tottenville High School. I'm also the creator of 50 Ways to Pass the Living Environment Regents, 100 Ways to Pass the Chemistry Regents, 70 Ways to Pass the Physics Regents, and now 30 Ways to Pass the Algebra 1 Common Core Regents. Here's what I did. I went through 6 recent Algebra 1 Common Core Regents exams to find the easiest and most commonly asked concepts and put that together into 30 ways to pass the Algebra 1 Common Core Regents. You should have received this study guide upon sign up. Okay, and here's what it takes to pass the Algebra 1 Common Core Regents. Now, this goes back to January 2016. Okay, there, if you get 86 points on the exam, that translates or equates to a score of 100. Okay, our goal is to get you to pass with a 65 right over here, and as you can see, you need to get 30 points. 30 points equals a 65. Now, on the June 2016 Algebra 1 Common Core Regents, to get a 65 is right over here. Oh, it looks like they lowered it to 27 points. So that means on June 2016, if you got 27 points, you would have gotten a 65. Then on the August 2016 Algebra 1 Regents, let's see over here again, 27 points. So it looks like it's lower. But you know what? Even if it's 30 points, I'm going to show you how to pass the Algebra 1 Common Core Regents. So let's get started. You see on the June 2016 Algebra 1 Regents and August 2016, okay, take a look at these two questions. One is a multiple choice and one is a short answer question. This question here says which table represents a linear function. This one says which type of model, linear or exponential, should be used to determine how many squares are in the nth pattern, and you got to explain your answer. That's really what the Common Core is about, is can you explain how you got your answer? And both of these questions, even though they're on two different exams, both have to deal with way number 16 on how to pass the Algebra 1 Common Core Regents. So I'm going to show you that video right now, and then we will come back and see how easy it will be to answer both the multiple choice and the short answer question. Way number 16 on how to pass the Algebra 1 Common Core Regents. The word linear defines a situation that changes at a constant rate. So in this question from the January 2015 Algebra 1 Regents, can you guess which table of values represents a linear relationship? Well, for every equal interval of 1 in the x value, there needs to be an equal difference in the value for f of x, making the answer choice 3. The other three tables, as well as the table from this question from the June 2014 Algebra 1 Regents, represent exponential growth, which is a situation that changes at an increasing rate. Since the numbers increase at an increasing rate, this is considered exponential growth, and then the graph would have a steep upward curve. Exponential decay would be the opposite, with a decrease in numbers at an increasing rate. Linear functions can be both positive and negative, but the lines will be straight due to the constant rate, like in choice 4 of this question from the August 2014 Algebra 1 Regents. And although choice 2 shows exponential decay, also known as depreciation, the words compounded, doubles, or triples should scream out exponential growth to you, making the answer choice 3. especially since a population initially has 20 birds. But even if they don't show you a graph or present you with a table of values, you'll most likely see the words compounded, doubles, triples, decays, or depreciates, all of which have to do with exponential growth or exponential decay. Anything else will have to be linear. We'll wrap it all up with these two short answer questions from two different Algebra 1 Regents exams. Since t of x changes at a constant rate, t of x is linear. And finally, since b of x changes at an increasing rate, exponential is a better choice. Okay, so that was way number 16 on how to pass the Algebra 1 Common Core Regents. So when we come back to question 6 here, which table represents a linear function? Well, you'll just want to check how it changes from one number to the next, and the one that changes at a constant rate, as you can see here, 777, f of x is going to be the answer. The rest of them are changing at an increasing rate, which would make them exponential. Okay, and in this short answer question, you see what they did here. They like to repeat functions where it changes by 2, 4, and 8. So you want to state that exponential should be the used here because the pattern does not increase at a constant rate. That's all you need to write. That's how you justify it. That's the Common Core aspect of this exam. All right, and you want some more short answer questions? How about 37? Question 37 on the June and August 2016 exams. Now, just so you know, the last question, 37, those are 6-point questions because they're usually followed up with more short answer questions where you have to justify and solve and things like that. Okay, well, don't fear that because right now I'm going to show you how all of this could be answered using way number 8 on how to pass the Algebra 1 Common Core Regents. So we'll watch that video and then we'll come back and I'll show you exactly how to answer these questions. Way number 8 on how to pass the Algebra 1 Common Core Regents. When writing and solving a system of equations, you may want to use the elimination method. Let's see how this works using the following question from the June 2015 Algebra 1 Regents. First, you want to identify your variables, so if Moe's farm stand sold a total of 165 pounds of apples and peaches, we'll let A equal apples and we'll let P equal peaches so that A plus P equals 165. She sold apples for $1.75 per pound and peaches for $2.50 per pound. If she made $337.50, how many pounds of peaches did she sell, with writing the equations being the second step? The third step would be to multiply one equation by a value that will cancel out one variable when adding the two equations together. After combining whatever is left over on both sides of the equation and solving for the missing variable, you will end up with the correct answer. Let's try this again with another multiple choice question from the August 2015 Algebra 1 Regents, where this time they're selling candles. So we'll let S equal small candles and we'll let L equal large candles to identify our variables. Last week, a candle store received $355.60 for selling 20 candles, which is a combination of small and large candles. Small candles sell for $10.98 and large candles sell for $27.98, which completes both equations. To solve for the number of large candles, multiply one equation by a value that will cancel out one variable when adding the two equations together. After combining whatever is left over on both sides of the equation and solving for the missing variable, you will end up with the correct answer. This even works for short answer questions like this one from the January 2015 Algebra 1 Regents. Equation 1, however, will refer to Jacob, and equation 2 will refer to Zachary, who both buy popcorn and drinks at the movies. Jacob spends a total of $18.25 on 2 bags of popcorn and 3 drinks. Zachary spends a total of $27.50 on 4 bags of popcorn and 2 drinks, which completes the writing of a system of equations. For additional credit, we can determine the price of a bag of popcorn and the price of a drink by multiplying one equation by a value that will cancel out one variable when adding the equations together. After combining whatever is left over on both sides of the equation and solving for the missing variable, you will end up with one of the correct answers. To solve for p, you can take either one of the equations and substitute the value of d into the equation so that when you isolate p, you end up with the correct answer. Okay, that was way number 8 on how to pass the Algebra 1 Common Core Regents, so we'll use that information to answer this first question from the June 2016 Regents, question 37. It says Franco and Carol went to a bakery to buy desserts. Franco bought 3 packages of cupcakes and 2 packages of brownies for $19. Carol bought 2 packages of cupcakes and 4 packages of brownies for $24. They even tell you right here, let X equal the price of 1 package of cupcakes and Y equal the price of 1 package of brownies, which is step number 1. Identify your variables. They did that for you already. Now, what we're going to do next is take the first sentence right here where it says, the second sentence, Franco bought 3 packages of cupcakes, so it should look like this. 3 times X plus 2 times Y equals 19. That's 3 packages of cupcakes plus 2 packages of brownies for a total of $19, which is Franco. Then you're going to do the same thing for Carol. It says she bought 2 packages of cupcakes and 4 packages of brownies for $24. Okay, and that right there would get you 2 points for writing a correct system of equations, and even if you did nothing else. If you did nothing else, just that, that's 2 points. Okay, but we're going to continue. Then it asks you to determine the exact cost of 1 package of cupcakes and the exact cost of 1 package of brownies in dollars and cents and justify your solution. So ready? Here's what it said. So we did step 1, we did step 2, and now for step 3, you want to multiply one equation by a value that will cancel out one variable when adding the equations together. So what I did is I multiplied Franco's equation by -2 to get -6x, and then -2 times +2y gets me a -4y, and then distribute the -2 to the 19 to get a -38. Okay, so then when you add up these equations, the 4y, the +4y, and the -4y will cancel each other out. All right, and so when you add up now, you should be left with -4x equals -14. Okay, but we're not done yet. That's just one step. Now to get x by itself, you're going to divide both sides by -4 so that x is equal to $3.50. That is the exact cost of 1 package of cupcakes. Okay, x is cupcakes, so now we got 1. Now how do we get the other? We're going to plug in, we're going to take one of the original equations. Let's take Franco's here. You could take Carol's too, but I'm going to use Franco's. Take the original equation, and in place of x, we're going to insert the $3.50. Okay, so right there, insert $3.50, and then next statement is going to be written like this. 3 times 350 plus 2y equals 19. You get $10.50 plus 2y equals 19. Subtract $10.50 from both sides, and then to get $8.50, divide both sides by 2, and you end up with the cost, the exact cost of 1 package of brownies, which is $4.25. So now we have the cost of cupcakes, we have the cost of brownies. Okay, now we have to justify to make sure that those are actual the values. So what you could do is, since we used Franco's equation here, let's use Carol's equation right over here. That's Carol's equation. And now we're going to insert $3.50 for x, and we're going to insert $4.25 for y. So that's going to look like this. And you know, when you do 2 times 350 and 4 times 425, you get 7 plus 17 equals 24, which it in fact does. Okay, so that's showing your work. It's finding the exact cost of a cupcake and brownie, and it's justifying your solution. Okay, now just so you know, there actually was another part to this question where they wanted you to graph the system of equations, and that is found in way number 11, which is a completely different video. All right, but even if you didn't do the graphing, Okay, even if you didn't do the graphing part, you could still do this and get 4 points, no graph, without drawing the graph. Okay, so 4 points right there without drawing the graph. All right, so let's go to the August 2016. And again, remember it's question 37. Write a system of equations to represent the cost of a juice box J. They're again telling you what the variables are. They're giving you the first part. And a bottle of water W. Okay, so again, go to that second sentence here. One teacher purchased 18 juice boxes and 32 bottles of water and spent $19.92. The other teacher, which is going to be the other equation, 14 juice boxes, 26 bottles of water, spent $15.76. So straight from the answer key, if you did this, you would get 2 points. 18J, that's this, plus 32W, that's this, equals 1992. And the same thing for the second equation. 14J plus 26W is 1576. That right there is 2 points. But then they said that Kara said that the juice boxes might have cost 52 cents each and that the bottles of water might have cost 33 cents each. Use your system of equations to justify that Kara's prices are not possible. All they're telling you to do is to insert 52 cents, okay, for a juice box, and you could pick either one. Pick either one of these equations. So here it is. We inserted 52 cents into the second equation right here, 33 cents into the second equation, and we see that $15.86 does not equal $15.76. As long as you insert and justify, then you get 2 more points. All right, and for 2 additional points, this was a 6-point question. They wanted you to solve your system of equations to determine the actual cost in dollars of each juice box and each bottle of water, the same way we did it for the cupcake and the brownie. Okay, so here is what we're going to do. We're going to multiply one of the equations by a number. Now in this case, you might need to multiply both, but that's okay. You want to just do something that's going to cancel out one of the equations. You see, in one case, they multiplied the top one by -7 and the bottom one by +9. And that was to get them to be equal to each other, equal but opposite. You see, one's a negative, one's a positive. That's going to cancel out. So then when you add everything up together and divide by 10 to get the W by itself, you'll see that what they solve for W. So a water bottle is 24 cents each. Okay, and then you plug that number. You see that? They took the 24, plug that into one of the equations, and then you solve for J to get the cost of a bottle of juice. Okay, and for doing that, that's how you get to 6 points. 6 points right there in the August 2016. You have the 2 equations written right here, a correct justification, which is right here, and correct work is shown to find J, which is the juice bottle, and W, the bottle of water. Okay, so far, I've shown you how to get 6 points on the June 2016 Algebra 1 Common Core Regents, as well as 8 points on the August 2016 Algebra 1 Common Core Regents, just from 2 videos. That's an average of 2 to 4 points per video, and you'd need about 22 to 24 more points so that you could pass with a 65, which equates to about 12 more videos. But we still have 28 videos left to go through. But I value your time, so you have 2 choices. Number 1, you can go into the exam with what I've shown you today in the hopes that you pass, or you can watch the entire 30 Ways to Pass the Algebra 1 Common Core Regents video series and get a guaranteed 65 plus. But before I tell you more about 30 Ways to Pass the Algebra 1 Common Core Regents, I want to tell you what it's not. You're not going to be sitting in some class or lecture hall for 7 hours in one day. You're also not going to be paying a very expensive fee for a course that's not even refundable if you fail. With 30 Ways to Pass the Algebra 1 Common Core Regents, you can get through the entire video series in a matter of 80 minutes. 80 minutes, that's a fraction of the time of a crash course, and for a fraction of the course of a crash course as well. Okay, and not to mention the 100% money back guarantee. Here's how it works. If after watching 30 Ways to Pass the Algebra 1 Common Core Regents in its entirety, you end up failing the Algebra 1 Common Core Regents, simply email us your failing grade along with your certificate of completion, which you'll receive upon completion of watching the entire video series, and we will gladly refund 100% of your purchase price. That's how confident I am in this video series. Now, the only thing left for you to do is to click the Enroll Now button at the bottom of this video, and I hope to see you on the other side. Now, either way, I wish you the best of luck on the Algebra 1 Common Core Regents. Should you have any questions, I can be reached at algebravideotutor@gmail.com. That is the conclusion of this webinar. Take care and have a great day.